Envision the Jefferson Memorial for a moment. Read those words carved in stone. Feel their weight. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you encountered writing like that? So precise, so persuasive, so principled. The Founding Fathers mastered eloquence through shared education most Americans had never heard about. One built on logic, rhetoric, the highest of arts, and an uncompromising pursuit of truth. Listen to the mastery. Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become more corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. Liberty must at all hazards be supported. We have a right to it, derived from our Maker. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Look closely at these sentences. They're architectural, premises building to conclusions, parallelism creating rhythm, antithesis sharpening contrast. What did these men have in common that we lost? Most Founding Fathers never attended public school as we know it. They learned at home or with private tutors in small groups. Their education was classical, rooted in what the ancient called the liberal arts. Back then, the term liberal meant for free persons, education that taught you to think, speak, and govern yourself. Look again at those quotes. The clarity of logic, building arguments step by step, the power of rhetoric, making truth persuasive. These were core skills from something called the trivial. But if the education shaped America's founding generation, where did it come from? And where did it go? To understand classical education, we must travel back over 2,000 years to ancient Greece, where education began with a fundamental question. What is truth? What is real? Three of the greatest philosophers ancient Greece produced, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they believed virtue and wisdom were inseparable. Education formed the Kalokagathia, the beautiful, virtuous, and good person, through physical exercise, discipline, reason, and moral habit. This philosophy crystallized into 7 liberal arts. First came the trivial, the art of words. Grammar, mastery in language and facts, precision in words, the what of things. Logic or dialectic, reasoning clearly, spotting fallacies, building airtight arguments, the why of things. Rhetoric, persuasive expression, speaking truth effectively to move hearts and minds, the how of communication. Then came the quadrivium, the arts of number and quantity. Arithmetic, understanding numbers per se. Geometry, magnitude and shape in space. Music, harmony and proportion, mathematical ratios in sound. Astronomy, celestial order and motion. This curriculum had a higher purpose, mental training to perceive order and reality, to seek truth wherever it led, and finally, to live virtuously as free citizens. The Middle Ages took what the ancients had achieved to a new level. The Renaissance revived classic education, and colonial tutors taught it centuries later. The founders lived it and wanted to use it as the foundations of a civilizational project called America. For instance, John Adams studied Latin and Greek. Thomas Jefferson read philosophy in 3 languages. Benjamin Franklin mastered rhetoric through deliberate imitation of great writers. They inherited an education 2,000 years old and used it to birth a nation. So what happened? How did the education that built America get sidelined? The story is complex, but traceable. First, the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment shift its foundations. Thinkers like Kant and Hegel questioned absolute truth, elevating historical progress and subjective reason over timeless first principles, what classical philosophy had called self-evident. Second, the French Revolution exploded onto the scene with new ideals: liberty, equality, fraternity. These came packaged with something novel: compulsory state education with anti-clerical dressings. The goal was to form citizens loyal to revolutionary ideals, not eternal truths. Education became a tool of social engineering. Third, philosophical shifts followed. Relativism questioned whether truth exists at all. Positivism insisted only empirical science yields real knowledge. Dismissing theology and classical philosophy as outdated. Fourth, the Industrial Revolution demanded mass education for workforce formation. Factories needed workers. Schools began resembling production lines. Standardized curricula, age-based grades, efficiency metrics, pragmatic skills eclipsed virtue and wisdom. Fifth, ideologies of the 20th century took this further. Marxism and socialism reimagined schools as vehicles for societal transformation, places to liberate students from traditional authorities and reshape society from the ground up. In the United States, progressive education sealed the shift. Philosopher John Dewey argued that classical education, with its focus on ancient texts, grammar drills, and timeless truths, suited aristocracy, not democracy. According to Dewey, American schools should emphasize hands-on experience, social participation, and practical problem-solving over abstract reasoning or moral virtue. If these models prioritize utility, mass preparation, and social reform over timeless truth-seeking and virtue, what trade-offs emerged? If education's purpose shifted from forming free persons capable of self-governance to forming efficient citizens prepared for the workforce and ideological reform, what did we gain? What did we lose? However, a shift is currently happening. Classic education still lives, and the movement is growing faster than most people realize. According to the Johns Hopkins Homeschool Hub, homeschooling grew between 4.9% and 5.4% this academic year, nearly triple pre-pandemic rates. 36% of reporting states hit record enrollment highs. Current estimates suggests over 3 to 3.7 million American students are now homeschooled. That's 5 to 6% of the entire K-12 population, according to EdTech platform Brightly. The most remarkable insight is that classical education is the fastest growing segment within that movement. Arcadia Education estimates approximately 677,500 students participated in classical models, whether through schools, co-ops, or homeschool curricula in the 2023-2024 academic year. Projections suggest that number could reach 1.4 million by 2035. Organizations like Classical Conversations now serve tens of thousands of families in communities across the nation. Parents are using Trivium-based curricula, joining co-ops, leveraging online tools, recovering that tutor-like guidance that emphasizes virtue and truth, one family at a time. Subscribe for more investigative explainers on Americans Foundations. So let's return to where we started. If classical education, with its emphasis on reason, rhetoric, virtue, and truth, formed the eloquent leaders who built the American Republic, and if that education was systematically replaced by models prioritizing utility, standardization, and ideological reform, what does it mean that millions of American families are now choosing to revive it? What if the path forward looks backward? What is the education that once made self-governance possible is exactly what we need to preserve that very self-governance. The story is being rewritten in homes across America, one classical lesson at a time. If you found this analysis valuable, and if it helped you understand this story more clearly, share this video and subscribe. Before you go, we would like to introduce ourselves. We're Big Picture Originals, an independent media company creating documentaries and content that inspires without government funding or corporate influence. Our most vital mission is to enrich society through the pursuit and effective expression of truth. If you want to know more about this movement, access our website through the link in the description.
If you're watching on YouTube, this is an exclusive offer you won't find on our website. Right now, you can unlock Big Picture Originals exclusive content with 30% off our annual plan for just $6.99 per month. Start with God Complex, a groundbreaking investigation into the censorship machine reshaping Western democracies. Featuring in-depth contributions from voices like Mike Benz and Peter Schweizer, this documentary exposes how power, technology, and ideology collide to control what you're allowed to see, say, and think. You'll also get access to From the River to the Sea, the most in-depth documentary on the root causes of the Middle East conflict, cutting through decades of distortion and media simplifications to explain what's really at stake. Plus, a full library of original investigations and series, including History of Communism, End of Beauty, Great Minorities, Fall of Argentina, and more. Click the link or scan the QR code to unlock 30% off for a limited time. Big stories, small price.